Back here on Texas Football Today, and actually, there's one last thing to do today, and that is to unveil the official Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press Texas High School Football State Rankings for Week 7. Dave Campbell's Texas Football has put out the state's most respected high school football rankings for decades and is the official rankings provider of the Associated Press. So these are the Texas high school football rankings of record. If you see like a game and it's got like a number next to a team, that's
Those
these
are
rankings.
it.
That's this. It's the spreadsheet that I'm looking at. The Dave Campbell's Texas football staff puts it together every Sunday. So if you want to yell at us and to make an impact, you got to do it before Sunday because that's when we get together and talk about
Correct.
it. There were a lot of open dates. I will warn you guys.
Not a
lot of
whole
open
lot of
dates.
shift.
So if you're looking for like seismic shifts,
Probably not going to find it.
maybe not find it, but certainly some movement. We'll start with Class 6A. In Class 6A, there's a couple of things to change. No changes up until you get to number 15. Pflugerville-Weiss really struggled with Temple, and as a result, we dropped them from number 15 to 18. That nudges Houston, Lamar, Dickinson, and Willis up a couple of spots. Sheldon C.E. King crashes out of the rankings at number 21 after their loss to Galena Park North Shore. Rockwall moves up to 21. Prosper moves up to 22. Dripping Springs moves up to 23. We kept Katy Jordan at 25th. We thought that they put up a really good fight against Katy, and a one-score loss to a top 8 team in the state we think is worthy of being staying at the 25 spot. But there was one spot open, and would you look at that? The state-ranked Campbell Cowboys, 24th in the Dave Campbell's Texas Football 6A rankings.
What a time
They
to be
cracked
alive.
the rankings. Look at that. Little old ding-dong Campbell, 24th in the 6A. Let's go to 5A. 5A Division 1. Yeah, last week, same as this week. Entirely unchanged. There were 4 idle teams. Longview, Smithson Valley, PSJ North, and Forney all had the week off, but everyone else was a winner, mostly by large margins. Keep an eye on Red Oak, though. They survive a scare from Colleen Shoemaker. We keep them at 7 for now. 5A Division 2, yep, same thing. Everyone's a winner. Melissa, Midlothian Heritage, and Lovejoy were all off, but everyone else was a winner. Montgomery Lake Creek, did you see this? They got a huge scare from winless Montgomery.
Yep.
You want to talk about a rivalry game, you throw out the record books. They got a huge scare, but they survived. They stay at 3 for now, but keep an eye on them. Port Neches Groves, no hangover for them. They get a big win over Texas City. On to 4A. 4A Division 1, there's a couple of changes here as a couple of teams end up crashing, or one team ends up crashing out. The number 7 team in 4A Division 1 ends up crashing out, who I can find here in a second because for some reason my spreadsheet froze. But the top 6 are entirely unchanged. Chapel Hill, Bernie, Salina, Anna, China Spring, and Kilgore, all the same. It was number 10 Hereford who falls out of the rankings after their loss to Canyon West Plains. In their place, Brownwood drops from number 7 to number 10 with their close loss to Stephenville. As a result, Iowa Colony and Stephenville each move up a spot to 7 and 8 respectively. And back into the rankings, the El Campo Ricebirds at 3 and 2 jump back into the rankings at number 9. Over to 4A Division 2. Where the number 10 team in the state, Madisonville, falls out of the rankings. That is the only change, as number 10 is now filled by the Monahans Lobos. Chino Navarrete and company are now state-ranked at number 10. They grab the 10th spot in the 4A Division 2 rankings, vacated by Madisonville, who lost to Columbus. Speaking of Columbus, let's go to 3A. 3A Division 1, the top 7 are entirely unchanged. Franklin, Columbus, Malakoff, Hitchcock, Winsboro, Paradise, and Edna. But there were some changes down at the bottom as number 8 Yoakum drops out of the rankings with their loss to Waco La Vega. In their spot, Brock moves up to number 8. Pottsboro, still unbeaten, moves up to number 9 after a wild shootout win over Mineola. And back into the rankings, I believe the first time this year, the Muleshoe Mules are state ranked at number 10. They are 6-0 with a win over Brownfield. 3A Division 2. Little bit of movement here. Number 4 Wall loses to Mason.
Talk to your children about unbeaten Mason.
It is, but we'll talk about what this does for 3A Division 2. We crash Wall out of the rankings. As a result, everybody nudges up a spot after that. Hooks up a spot to number 4, Newton to number 5, Troop number 6, Poth number 7, Bells number 8 ahead of their big-time matchup of unbeatens with Gunner. 9 is Holiday, and into the rankings, the Littlefield Wildcats grab the number 10 ranking in the state at 4 and 1. To 2A we go. 2A Division I, crickets. Not a thing to see here. I need to adjust that graphic because those aren't new teams. Those are entirely unchanged. Everyone was a winner or off. Hawley, Sonora, and Holland were all off this week. The top 10 entirely unchanged. And the same goes for 3A Division 2, or 2A Division 2, rather. Albany, Mart, New Home, Chilton, and Collinsville, your top 5. The top 10 entirely unchanged in both 2As. Meanwhile, let's go to 1A. To the 6-man ranks. Number 9, May, kind of takes it on the chin this past week, and as a result, they fall out of the rankings. May got really dominated by Oglesby. They fall out of the rankings. In their spot, jumping back up to number 9, is the unbeaten Warriors of Miami. They are the 9th-ranked team in the state now, grabbing the number 9 spot in the 1A Division 2 rankings. Everything else entirely chalky. 1A Division 2, speaking of chalk, it doesn't get any chalkier than this. Every team was a winner with the exception of Cherokee and Richland Springs, who were both idle ahead of their big rivalry clash this week. Watch this space. And the private school ranks. We made a change in the 11-man ranks. Bel Air Episcopal's dominant win over Episcopal School of Dallas is good enough for us to vault them up to the number 2 spot, jumping over 5-1 Dallas Christian, who did take care of business against rival Fort Worth Christian. And on the private school 6-man ranks, Austin Hill Country gets beat by Jonesboro. They fall out of the number 3 from the number 3 spot. As a result, Conroe Covenant moves up to the number 3 spot. Bastrop Tribe Consolidated moves up to number 4. And new to the rankings, the East Texas Homeschool Chargers, now state ranked at number 5, unbeaten at 5-0. So there it is, the Week 7 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press Texas High School Football Rankings. You can find the complete rankings at texasfootball.com/rankings. There you have it. Like I said, a lot of idols, a lot of open dates, but a little bit of movement here and there. And there are some teams, newly ranked teams, that will be celebrating their rankings this week.
Thanks so much for watching that video. If you would like more and to be notified when they come out, go ahead and click that subscribe button right down there. You can also watch Texas Football Today every day live at noon on TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, and right here on YouTube. For more of the best coverage of Texas football in the Lone Star State, go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.